Hey guys, this is Alex again. My channel's called Joka, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is part 2 of I'm gonna send. There's a fellow YouTuber. His name's Smitty, or his channel's name's Smitty, and Smitty Chainsaw. So he is in the search for a fast cutting chain, and I kind of binge watched a bunch of his videos. And I decided to keep my chain that I'm gonna send him. I decided to keep it a work type chain. So not a race type chain, clipping the heels, stoning the rivets and all this kind of craziness. I'm gonna keep it basically acceptable for the class that he runs in. Now it may not be able to be because the chain I just picked a random chain, guys, so at the store because I had a gift card, so I just used that. But it is a type of safety chain, so they don't really allow, from what I'm understanding, they don't allow a lot of modifications on some of the type of racing that he does. Sometimes they don't even allow square chain and stuff like that. But I am going to modify this second little small little raker, safety aspect. So I'm gonna cut that off. But other than that, I'm gonna leave it about the same, as this. I'm not gonna grind rivets. I'm not gonna clip this heel or anything like that. I'm just gonna keep it a work style, like a fast, firewood work chain. So basically I have everything. The last episode, I filed all these gullets. So I took back all the gullet. I'm not gonna leave it like that. I'm going to sharpen the chain with a different type of technique that I've shown before, but this one, I'm sharing this chain, so I'll share it again. And one main thing that I'm doing, so I filed all the gullets. So I wanted to show you, so in here, I have this set to 7mm. So you see how this, see where you at, see how that just goes on 7mm. And then this one, let's see, just goes on 7mm. That's where I have it. Nope, this is actually not. Here. Let me see. That's 7. Gotcha. See how that doesn't go on? Right? Doesn't go on. I'm making, basically, I'll show you right in here. See the little where it changes colors? Let me get a different view. See where you have that little line right there? Right in, let me get a little pointer here. All right. So basically, right in here, see how this is a line right here? From right here, that line. So basically from here, that's where I'm sticking this thing. So see right there? I want 7mm right there of gullet. It's not how much gullet's left over, it's 7mm of gullet removed. Okay, that's what I'm going for. So I already did the one side, this side, and then I got 1, 2 to do, and then I'll do the rest, and then they'll all be about 7, not exact science, about 7mm. Okay, I got the light on, guys. This is helping. All right, so you see that is in there, 7mm. That's what I'm looking for. Now it's not exact, but it's roughly about the same on each tooth, right? See, there's a little, that one has a little wiggle room. This one, barely any wiggle room. So I'm doing that on every tooth, right? So I already did one side and I'm doing that on every tooth. That way I can get them close to the same so I can keep it, when I sharpen it, I'm gonna try to keep it as smooth as possible. Because I don't wanna send them like a super chattery chain or anything like that. So I'm gonna finish that and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, guys, I found a battery for this thing. I forgot what these are called. Like, it's just like a caliper. Yeah, digital caliper. But here you go. I'll show you. So here goes in, and then you can see it's around 7, right? That's what I'm looking for. You know, the first number to be 7. 7, see? That's when then you can tighten it up a little bit. That's what I'm looking for, right in there where that line's at. Equals 7. Doesn't have to be 7.00, you know, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not machining this. I'm not machining this thing. It's gonna be like a normal work chain here. So that's what I got so far. So I just wanted to share that I found a battery, which is pretty awesome that it still works because that thing is pretty old, but yeah. All right, guys, I got my earmuffs and my glasses. The reason being is I'm gonna be using this Dremel tip and I'm going to grind. See if I can show you. I'll show you right here. So see this right here? That's the raker. And then you got a safety part. So I got it set up here. Here's the safety part. So I'm gonna grind that flat. So there's the real raker right here. And then there's a safety. So I'm going to get rid of that there. Thing loosened up. Alright, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna show you guys. So here's one right here. Here's one. There's one there. And then there's one gone. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Right there. So yeah, I'll just be doing that just very carefully. All right, guys, this is what I am working with now. So I started with a Dremel to hit off these, so right in here, right there was a little safety chain part, like a little mini raker. So like when it rounded the corner, see this? That's what I did. I took that off. So when it rounded this corner, the little kickback thing would sit out, you know, so around the nose of your bar, it's not going to kick back as easily. So I ended up using this Dremel. Let's see, where is it at? Yeah, all right, raker, and then this is what I ground out. So I used a Dremel to grind it flat, but then it was leaving it round. See how it's flat? It was round. And I was like, that's not enough. I want this thing, because the goal is, I don't want a lot of friction. So I should have started with, you know, a non-safety chain style, you know, but it is what it is. I'm already, you know, I'm already here. So anyway, that's what I did. So then I was using a little Dremel, so that wasn't doing great. And then I was like, you know, this is taking forever. I'm just gonna hit this with my grinder with a floppy disk and just be careful. So I just angled it up like this, and then I just hit it with the floppy disk, right? And then now I'm set up for the next aspect here, which is going to be filing the chain. So I'll have a video on that, but you can see how hooky, you know, hooked I have the chain here. So that's not gonna stay like that. I'm gonna file it back, guys. But I'm gonna start filing in the next episode, and I'm gonna be doing, you know, it's gonna be non-traditional. So I'm gonna see how a non-traditional filing will work. So hope you guys stay tuned, and thanks for watching.